Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and so I'm a little bit belatedly responding to the thread that was started by the irrepressible Rob Walker of the Greater Manchester area of the United Kingdom. And so, what he started, and a lot of you have already kind of jumped in on, is the idea of showing illustrated album covers as opposed to photographs. And so I picked 10 of them to show. Mine are all going to have a theme where they're all going to basically be drawings. A lot of them are fairly cartoonish drawings of the artist or the band, or at least some of the band members. So the first couple I have for you are both kind of a common theme, fairly unknown female singer-songwriters of the current day. Both these albums are only a couple years old, from like 2021. So the first one I'm going to show, this is an English musician named Laura Kidd. She's currently releasing albums under the name Pen Friend. This was her album Exotic Monsters from 2020. I said 2021, but I think it was 2020. And so, and you kind of have a theme going on. She's got the cut off phone, the world's on fire, she's crying. A lot of it is about kind of her sort of uneasiness with modern life and modern technology. And an album with a pretty similar theme from a similar time period came out in 2021. The American Vanessa Peters, who's from the Dallas, Texas area, but has actually spent a lot of time in Italy. Her album called Modern Age. I know she has a new album that's coming out early 2024. And so you can see this folds over for the big picture there. A lot of the similar themes to Pen Friend's album, with a lot of sort of distrust of modern culture going on in here. Vanessa tends to be kind of folky, but this was a little bit more of a rockin' album than is usual for her. Next one, which also has a cartoonish cover. This is going to kind of start a theme of the next couple albums are going to bookend the state of Kentucky where I live. So Tyler Childers, in his album Country Squire, so he's got the red hair and the red beard, and you've got all kinds of monsters and gods and chickens around him. This was his album Country Squire from 2019, co-produced by Sturgill Simpson. And so he's from far eastern Kentucky. That's that Appalachian, Hatfield and McCoy's part of Kentucky. Somebody who's toured with him and is actually lives in my town. She was a student at my university. She grew up in a town even farther west in Kentucky called Hickman, which is actually right on the border. It's right on the Mississippi River. The family farms there. You cross the Mississippi River, you're in southeast Missouri. Her 2022 album, Teeth Marks. So I actually have the print of the cover that is signed. I guess that's her signature. And so you can see, you can kind of play connect the dots with that picture of her. And as I said, she's toured with him. They played at Red Rocks. They played at the Grand Ole Opry. So she got to play at the Grand Ole Opry. They're in Americana, which means they're liberals who make country music. And then this is a real rarity. Slark Moan is an indie band led by this guy, Mark Sloan. Notice what he did to get the Slark Moan. And he happens to be a member of S.G. Goodman's touring band. He's a multi-instrumentalist, so he can play like pedal steel guitar and regular guitar, probably what a particular song calls for. This was released on a minor local label called Slough Water. I believe S.G. Goodman, she had a band before she went solo that put out a record on there as well that I don't happen to have, and it's kind of like impossible to find. So that's Slark Moan. Rob Walker doesn't have that album. Next albums are going to be basically progressive people that are progressively more famous. So we have the Cramps, Off the Bone. So this was a kind of a greatest hits comp from 1983. So I guess you've got stylized pictures of like Lux Interior and Poison Ivy and all the Cramps individuals, Congo Powers, and the like. Um, Very much different from the Cramps is the Legal Matters, Chapter 3. So I'm pretty sure this is their third album. This was something that I got. It was recommended by Stephen Schnee. This is very much in the power pop category. So this guy's got long hair and a long beard and glasses. And this guy's got hair and beard and glasses. This guy doesn't have any glasses. And then you've probably heard of Prince and the Revolution. So this is the album Around the World in a Day. It's got this weird fold over that's easy to detach, so that's why I'm keeping it inside the plastic sleeve. But I guess we've got Prince's and Wendy and Lisa and like various Revolution members in Around the World in a Day. Of course, you've got songs like Raspberry Beret on this particular album. And then you've probably heard of a band called The Who. The Who had an album in the early 80s called Face Dances, and so they basically commissioned 16 paintings for each of the four members. Of course, it was Kenny Jones on drums because Keith Moon was already gone by then. So, You Better You Bet would be the most well-known song. This is not generally regarded as one of the Who's better records. And then finally, we've got Neil Young Comes a Time. And you might be saying that looks like a photograph. That doesn't look like an illustration. And it looks like a very dirty album cover. And you would be right about that. So I have a cover of that song that is an illustration. So there's Juliana Hatfield, A Lot of Love. And somebody drew a picture of her in the same pose that Neil had on that album cover. So, hope you enjoyed my pictures, my illustrations, Rob, and whoever else made it this far.